Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mania 4K World Cup 2023. This is the final match of the semi-finals, Indonesia against Chile. The final match of the losers bracket, the final match of the semi-finals. Whoever wins this gets top 6. High stakes, of course. And I'm very excited, as you can probably tell by my voice. My name is Juan Cristo. I'll be commentating alongside no other than Ravi Lee. And I think I still don't know how to pronounce your name properly, which is very funny.
I'm very sure you've gotten it right like once.
Hey,
once.
That's
and it's
once.
not this time.
Yeah, it's not this time. The thing is,
it is fine. I mean, if you guys know who I am, then it is what it is. But Indonesia, they want to try and get a top 6 finish for the first time ever in 4K. Surprisingly, they've never been top 6 before. This will be the match that if they win, they will be top 6. They managed to destroy Hong Kong 7-1 yesterday, whereas Chile, not so much over Vietnam. They had to take it all the way to the last couple of seconds on the tiebreaker to get here. They are looking to clinch their second top 6 finish since 2017, and this is the 4th time these two teams have been facing each other in the Mania 4K World Cup, and Chile has never beaten Indonesia before, so lots of stakes.
I mean, this will be a first for them, obviously. And judging by their performance on the previous match against Vietnam, I mean, taking them to tiebreaker, winning them on the tiebreaker, actually, Chile is looking very promising. Of course, all eyes will always be on the elephant in the room here, Miyuchi, who, I mean, I don't think there's any argument that can be made about them not being the best player in the world. Like, they are clearly the best player in the world by, like, a long shot.
Yeah.
So that's always the main focal point, I guess, of matches where Chile is playing. But of course, I mean, themselves cannot do it alone. Unfortunately, they need their team as well. And the team has been up for the task. But as the pool scales up in difficulty, Chile starts to struggle. And Indonesia, it kind of feels like the opposite, right? Like the other way around. Every time the pools get harder, Indonesia just keeps getting better.
Yeah, their team is really revolved around a couple of late game players. I mean, especially a bad HD player also known as Ray. They MVP'd quite a few maps against Hong Kong. For Miyuchi, they MVP'd 11 different maps against Vietnam, which is,
kind of insane.
It is Miyuchi. Yeah.
And the worst part is that they didn't get it on 13 maps only because they like missed a couple times on 2 of those maps. And even on some maps that they missed, they won as well. They MVP, so it's quite ridiculous. Like, don't be surprised if you see like monstrous scores from Miyuchi on Chile this time around. I mean, I'm not saying we won't see them as well from Indo. I think we will see very, very nice scores across the board. And we see the Protexa already, which is SV2 from Chile.
And Vice 3 from Indonesia. Yeah. Ooh. Well, both teams didn't get to play BOL in their last matches, so if BOL gets picked, then it'll be the first for both these teams. Also, SV1 gets banned as Chile protects SV2, so I think that should be a given point to Chile. I mean, I'm looking at the scores. Both these teams played SV2. There's a 500,000 point difference to Chile's favor. So we shall see. I mean, if Indonesia did some homework on SV2, maybe it would be a lot closer than just 500,000 points, but we will have to see. And Chile going to ban Rise 5.
Yep, it does seem like it. So both teams protecting a category, then banning the category of the protect of the others. So SV1 knocked out, well, SV2 is protected, and Rise 5 being banned, well, Rise 3 is protected here. Which leaves Hybrids and Netherlands open, which, of course, considering the commentator crew we have right here, we are pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, Chile banned Rise 3 against Vietnam, so with Indonesia protecting Rise 3, there's nothing much Chile could really do about it, so banning Rise 5, I think that's fine. I mean, tech maps, I would say it's quite even actually. Indonesia and Chile are definitely up there, really close on the 3 tech maps.
Seems like we're gonna see Zoraba.
Yeah, Vice 1.
Yep. It's not Zoraba,
Chile
it's
didn't play
Saraba,
this.
But yeah. They didn't?
Saraba, yeah.
They didn't play this? I thought they did.
Chile didn't play it, but Indonesia did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
So we should see
This
better
song-
HD player Albert and Nisha. Yeah.
This song, it just brings the
This song's
standard
old.
memories. Yeah, it's very, very old. We'll see how these two teams fare. I mean, we have seen Indonesia already on this, so kind of interesting that Indo decides to go for something Chile has not played before, whereas they could have gone for something they performed better than Chile, considering all the information.
Yeah, I was thinking
they have.
maybe Vice 6, like Indonesia have a really good Vice 6 score by 36,000 points over Chile. So maybe they could opt for that later.
Or maybe they want
we'll
to
have to
knock
see.
down the uncomfortable picks first. I mean, that's also a strat we have
Yeah.
seen before. Teams like Brazil like to deploy those kind of tactics. But we'll see if it works for Indonesia here. They're looking to get the top 6. They never got before. And, well, what a better place to do it. Against Chile, they have beating them every single time they face. So will it change this time?
It's really about how the other two players of Chile will fare. I know Miyuchi is going to do exceptionally well. It's just whether or not Zen and Nyawa can keep up together with Miyuchi for Chile against these three powerhouses of Indonesia. And they both dropped already!
And their
I'm so
accuracies as
sorry.
well. It's not just the combos there, but the accuracies are pretty low as well. The speed requirement for this map is very, very high. And I'm not surprised we see some drops from the two weakest links of Chile when it comes to, well, when you're comparing them to Miyuchi, of course. And they're still missing now. Right before hitting the combo cap, Nyawa finds the second break so far, and the lead extends to 27,000 now in favor of Indonesia, who is holding a triple FC every single player with 99.75 or above.
Yeah, this is 353 streams. It is very, very fast. And this map is also
Incredibly
really,
fast.
really short. We're already well into the second half of the map.
I mean, I don't really want to talk about Miyuka's performance or like Miyuchi's performance because I don't really want to jinx it. But there's a 200 over there. He got a very, very early hit there,
no.
knocking his accuracy from 996 to 993. And with a quarter of the song
There has to
remaining,
be
it's
some
mostly
missiles.
just, yeah, there needs to be a big, big chunk of a drop from the Indo side, and I don't see that happening at all. They're holding their ground very, very well. Sure, there are some early hits from Bad HD Play. Oh my. There's a, both of the players are hitting early. Drop, but I don't think it's enough, really. The accuracy is just too strong.
late. Yeah, the accuracy is like you've mentioned, like all three, you combine them together is way above Chile, even with Miyuchi's 99.92. It is going to be team effort from Indonesia, and they'll take the first point.
78 300s. Yep. I mean, Bad HD Player also hitting a very, very nice ratio there. 163 on this is very, very solid. Anything that is 10 to 1 on this is already incredible and insane. And we are seeing 10 to 1, 9 to 1, and, well, Miyuchi to 1.
Miyuchi 2-1, yeah.
Well, Chile loses their first, the first map of the matchup here. It's not their pick, so this is kind of the maps you are expected maybe to lose. And you see Chile has some A's up their sleeve other than SB2 to try and tackle Indonesia here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe one of the LN picks, Super Nuko Wars. I'm not thinking, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Chile's LN should be decent enough, or maybe even better than Indonesia, but Indonesia barely played any of the LNs actually. But Chile are going with LN3, Kono Hiyori.
Yep.
それ何やってるんですか
Now, this is one of the maps that Indonesia didn't play, but Chile did play this.
The strats, man. I mean, to be fair, Indonesia didn't play as many maps. So
Yeah, they only played 8 maps. This will be interesting to see.
It will be, I'm not so sure, like, how well Indonesia will fare on the LN department. Like, they are certainly the very strong, Rice, physically oriented team. I recall them playing on the winners bracket, but I'm not so sure if we can compare those scores with this, as this is so much harder.
Yeah,
See,
but with
Onta
Onta
Bekasi now.
Bekasi. Yeah, Onta Bekasi is easily Indonesia's ace for LNs. I mean, you can say bad HD player as well, but they're both up there for sure. But no Albert, we're seeing Nisha. I know Albert played LN1 and LN2. But we are gonna see Nisha for this one.
We see a couple subs, I think, as well from Chiles.
Wait.
Here, Bambi FNF. Oh wait, that's a
Oh,
that's an abort,
okay.
I think. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I was wondering why did the match start with 5 players?
It happens. Sometimes you want to press escape, I think, to check settings or something like that, and you like log off the room just before it starts. It happened in the past to me before, but local offset
MP
was
start
on
jump
0.
scare.
Yeah, that was close. Well, I guess Bad HD player manages to save a play with the offset right in time for the abort to happen. And as I was saying, Chile now holding the ground with My Angel Kokomi and Bambi FNF. I believe, was it Kokomi who held a very nice combo at the tiebreaker last matchup?
Yeah, it was both
Chile
Kokomi and
afloat?
Muchi.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, this is arguably the stronger roster Chile can present on the LM pool here. We'll see if they can hold the ground here against the Indo.
Yeah, this is the classic Chile LN roster. But this map has a lot of very quirky Jackie bursts that they'll need to be careful of.
There's the first miss now by Indonesia. Nisha Labyrinth being the first one to drop. That gives an advantage to the
huge.
Chilean side. It's pretty big miss. Yeah, that's true. And despite the fact that Bambi FNF is a little bit behind in terms of accuracy, it doesn't really matter. But Miyuchi now drops.
Oh.
The one player who you wouldn't expect to be dropping finds the first mistakes on the South American side here. And the score is starting to flicker with Bambi FNF missed. Now Indonesia is going to be taking the lead.
And that's as huge of a miss as Nisha did at the start. So dropping all the way down to 99.2, which means it gives Indonesia that very nice 8,000, 9,000 point lead. But as they hit the 400 combo cap.
Yeah, we're only getting to the second half right now, and we have a bit of filler here to recover your accuracy, recover your combo. But Indonesia seems to be a clear favorite to win this now, as they are holding the ground fairly well with 9,000 points of Spanish, and the accuracy is staying very, very high. As much as Miyuchi is trying their best to catch up, the miss is going to hinder their scores enough, whereas Indonesia is just going to take this lead if they don't miss.
Yeah, it's a similar situation with Saraba, with the map length being really short, just under 2 minutes. You can already see the map is already in its last fifth. There has to be a couple of misses from Indonesia and for Chile to hold on.
Not seeing many patterns. Maybe Onta hitting a little bit early, but that's about it. I don't see Indonesia breaking anytime soon, and if they hold this combo up, they will be the winners of the first breakpoint of the matchup. And it looks like it is 7,000 points in favor of the Indonesian side, who's starting strong for the potentially first time into the top 6.
Yeah, it was very close, honestly. Just really came down to the 2 misses from Chile's side.
They really did. I mean, if you take out one of the misses from Chile, I believe they would have still been a victory for Indo, but very, very close.
It would be even closer, yeah. Hollywood squares from Indonesia, right 6.
I mean, you called this, right? The scores from Indo on right 6 is very, very, very strong. So it's no surprise they won for this at some point of the match.
Like I said, 36,000 points to Indonesia's favor. But of course, many things can still happen, especially with around a day of practice. We'll see if Nyawa is gonna come in for Chile. It is a bad HD player, Albert and Nisha from Indonesia that played against Hong Kong, so they are staying in. But Chile are actually opting not to have Nyawa in. Instead, Bambi FNF.
That's an interesting choice. They didn't play last time, right? against
They
Vietnam.
didn't play Hollywood Squares. It was Nya what
Yeah.
it did. We'll see if this pays off.
Oh, that's not the start you want if you're Bambi FNF there.
Oh.
Not sure what happened there, but that was like maybe 3-4 misses on one of the patterns.
Yeah, this map starts really abruptly. But luckily it was all at the very beginning, so this lead isn't going to be that huge. And like I said, not a huge lead, which means with the miss on bad HG player, it's gonna swap over to Chile.
It does pretty quickly, but this map has a lot to offer and it's very physically demanding. And if we saw some misses on that early pattern from Bambi FNF, if it was just like an unprepared thing, then so be it. But if it was a physical thing, the map is just gonna get more intense as time goes on.
Yeah.
Like here.
I mean, we can assume that Bambi FNF was just caught off guard at the start.
I believe so. The
But
accuracy
that
timing back up
accuracy-
again. Yeah, that's the problem. With 4 misses on the ground, that already hits your accuracy strong enough. The map progresses, the accuracy goes up, but this is enough. I'm not so sure. The score is flickering back and forth, and it's about 600 points in favor of Indonesia right now, and only a single miss from them. But, oh my goodness, this is going to be
This
very
is
close. Into the
incredibly
second
close.
half now.
Okay, Bambi has definitely done a good job to recover, but I think Indonesia, like bad HD players, also recovering very well.
I mean, it's mostly
I-
going to come
oh,
down to
there's
the
a miss on
misses.
Bambi.
Yep. There's the first miss again from Bambi. Well, the second, I guess, if you don't count the early mistake. And this lead is
And
going
that's
to
another-
extend in favor of Indonesia as the physically department gets too high. The stamina starts to kick in. Bambi starts to struggle. And with those misses in, they will just take advantage. And a quarter of the song still remains, 16,000 points. I don't see this lead going anywhere. The ending maybe could trip Indonesia a little bit, but even so, will it be enough? I don't think so.
I don't think it will. Like, these bursts do come and go, and you do have a little bit of break time. Already, as you can see, the map is already approaching its end, and it's a 17,000 point lead climb. For Chile, I do not think it's going to be possible anymore. Indonesia will take a third point.
It's a big effort by Chile here, reducing this 36,000 points of difference to 21, and now we'll see, well, 2 V1 double S's, one from Yuchi, one from Albert, actually. A very nice score.
Yeah,
there by
I like
Albert.
how Miyuchi's ratio is like 1/4 of Albert's. Also, immediately SV2, we do see their protect coming now.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Chile needs to get back into the game. This is the kind of pick they have for it. Trying to, well, get themselves some momentum, get themselves some morale boost, trying to find the time where Indonesia picks one of the maybe 50-50 maps or like closer to 50-50 maps, then break. And I mean, if you don't use your weapons early enough, maybe it will become too late. I think this is the perfect time for Showdown to show up.
If Chile want to get a, I would say guaranteed point on the board, it is now. I say guaranteed because judging by the last 2 scores from both Chile and Indonesia on Showdown, I mean, it's a 500,000 point lead, as I mentioned.
Yeah. Unless Indonesia's cooking something, this should be an easy win for Chile.
Maybe they could. I mean, Chile's team score isn't the best. It is 2,832,000.
I mean, that's...
So I think with enough practice, maybe Indonesia could try and match it, but I don't know.
Like, what is that? It's like 940 every player? I don't think you can in just a single day. Not even a single day. You have to sleep in between, right? If you're indoor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have
I mean-
no time, really.
Funnily enough, Chile's score on Showdown is the second best out of the remaining teams.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
no way.
only South Korea have a better score.
Japan didn't play this, right? So
Japan didn't. They only
yeah, they
played
as
SV1.
Yep.
I believe this is the SV rosters of both sides.
Yeah, RetroX, Axie Fanboy, those two look like the SV players from Indo, and Onta, of course, gonna be joining the party. And on the Chilean side, Nyawa, San, Miyuchi. The same roster we had on the first pick, we have now 4 SVs. 3.11 star rating, and is the worst average score of every single team combined. That's funny.
I mean, that's
Star
the
rating
nature of
wise.
SV maps.
Yep. It's so funny.
And especially with how jarring a lot of these sections are. No surprise. A bit of a shaky start from Nyawa, but the map is just only beginning. And this is just a reading section. We will get into the memorization soon. Let's see if there are any major drops here.
Onta hitting a bit of a 100 drop there, but
Oh,
there's a
drop from
miss
Miyuchi.
Actually.
Yeah, but the accuracy from Onta. But Nyawa drops as well. The lead goes to Indonesia. But the accuracy from Indonesia dropping so much that lead slingshots back to Chile.
This accuracy here from the bottom row of Indonesia is a bit too weak compared to Chile's. Despite the miss from Nyawa, he's still holding a 98.75, and that's good enough really to overtake any of the Indo players other than ASCII Fanboy, who's honestly fighting their ground with Sang rather than Miyuki here.
Yeah, ASCII Fanboy is doing an amazing job. But Retro EX and Onta Bakasi 97s just do not compare with Chile at the moment. So far, it is a much better showing than what we saw with Indonesia against Hong Kong. Oh, but as Onta...
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
The Anta break.
It's a 66,000 point lead, and it's just going to climb as the accuracy of Onta drops and another miss. And Chile have recovered really well. There are some accuracy drops from Nyawa, but still. The map will close, and it is a huge margin of victory. If Miyuchi drops at the end, we won't get a 100,000 point lead, but it is a point nonetheless. That's a really good score from ASCII Fanboy though, just a single 200. But Chile will get their first point on the board.
Yep, they got the point I expected to win. Pretty much the free win, I think. In the SV department, Chile was clearly better than Indonesia. So they took this point fairly convincingly. They will now be waiting for Indo to make their own choice. And I will argue last map was close enough where I can see Chile maybe taking one of the Rise. I'm thinking, I'm not sure if we saw both teams play Rise 7, but...
Yes, both teams did play Rise 7, but Chile only have a 2,000 point lead.
Yeah, that's the map I'm thinking in the Rise department, that Chile will have the better odds at defeating Indonesia. But to be fair, they also lost on a lens, so... It was a bit of an unfortunate walkthrough, I think, from Chile there on the Rise, on the LN3 department. So I can see Chile maybe winning on the remaining of the Olympics. But we'll see. Right now, I'm not sure if Indo's gonna swap the strategy. I bet they only really have Rise 7 as... well, they have Rise 3 actually. Yeah, they could just go for BOL here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. After losing the pick they were expected to lose on the SV department, you don't want to give Chile any high hopes or anything. You want to go for your protect. You want to protect this lead that you have and drop the ball to Chile, so they are the ones who have to think how to pick. So I think my favorite pick here will be BOL.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if BOL does come out now. I'm thinking maybe one of the L lens is also okay. It really depends on what Indonesia is feeling.
I mean, if they know they have a score that is very solid on one of the lens, they could go for it, I guess. But I don't know. I think I'm thinking it's a bit too risky. You want Chile to be picking those, and yeah, as we were calling BOL's the pick. Not a big surprise here. It's honestly just textbook strategy here. Chile trying to recover their momentum, their morale with one of the picks they're guaranteed to win. And Indonesia trying to steal that momentum away and that morale away by picking their protect, the map that they're supposed to win the most. and forcing again Chile into this situation where they really cannot afford to make any mistakes on their picks. And yeah, we'll see if it works. We haven't seen any of the two. Well, actually, we have seen Indonesia playing this, I think, but we haven't seen Chile playing this.
No, I don't think either team has played this.
Neither team? All right. I
Nope.
thought Indo played this. Well, it will be a showdown then. First time seeing both teams. But Chile banned
believe
this on the
both
previous
teams-
round, so
Yes, Chile did ban this.
well, we'll get to see if this is the biggest brain play ever done by Chile by banning this match on the previous match, having an insane score on it, so they could win this breakpoint against a team like Indonesia. I don't
It
think
could be
that's the case.
possible. I mean, I don't know because they were against Vietnam.
Yeah, but they want a tiebreaker. I wouldn't risk it. HD players
Well,
still
let's
holding
see.
the 100%. Never mind, not anymore, but
Oh,
nice hold.
just for anyone who wants to know what this map is, it's 250 BPM jump stream for 3 minutes. That is it.
Yep. So
It is
expect
pure
Bad
stamina.
HD, expect Miyuchi to have absolutely ridiculous scores on things like this. This is a banger.
Yeah, it
by
will
the
really
way,
come
as
down to
well.
the. Yeah, this background's amazing. It will come down to the other two players of each side.
There's a couple 200 on a split jump trill by Bambi
Yeah,
FNF.
Bambi is definitely struggling a little bit.
Oh, there's
Oh,
the
and
miss.
they
No.
struggle. Yeah, that's gonna give a bigger lead to Indonesia.
A big accuracy drop as well, not just a miss. 99.40,
Oh,
and
and
there's
that's
another
another-
miss now. Yeah, the density picks up, and 250 is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. Bambi FNF struggling quite hard in the stamina department now. And Chile's starting to fade away, I think, on this map.
Yeah, I think there might have been a good reason why Chile didn't want to play this, but Nisha does trade. It is one single miss. And the concern is whether or not Bambi has enough stamina to carry them all the way to the end as another miss comes out. This is looking ever more concerning for the blue side.
Very dry here for Chile, unfortunately. Their scores are pretty good, don't get me wrong. It's just that the stamina is really affecting them. Bambi was holding very solid until the first miss, and that's the sign, this signal for a player who's struggling with stamina. This moment you hit your first break, then you just start falling apart. If your stamina is not up for the task, if it's not just a random mistake, you just stop keeping up with it. Like, you're doing fantastically well, and at some point you start dropping and dropping and dropping in accuracy and on combo. And even with the break here, Bambi had enough time to recover a little bit. That should carry him through this very, like, not so dense section for a bit. But as soon as stamina kicks again, expect more drops. I wouldn't be surprised that's the case. The miss from Nisha will not be enough here for Chile to recover this lead. And there's the miss from San as well now. So only a single FC remaining on the South American side here.
Yeah, this is where stamina really kicks in. You had your break time and now it is just gonna be full jump stream all the way. And Indonesia are doing extremely well. This is a very good team score at the moment.
Very, very solid. But if we talk about individual performances, I mean, Miyuchi's score is, well, they hit at 200, right? As I say that.
Why
of course
did you
they
have to
do.
say it?
They were holding, I'm pretty sure, the V1SS, and now Bad HD as well dropping. Not gonna matter too much. 30,000 points of buffer will be more than enough for Indonesia to keep this lead in the very last moments. And the only FC after all will be Albert, who's been performing very well for Indo so far. The last couple maps that they won was mostly off of the back from him. And there is the Miyuchi Classic 150, which was a miss for some reason, and apparently was not now. It was a client miss. What just happened? I am very confused.
I am very confused. Huh?
That's a 41-to-1 ratio, by the way. But I mean,
that was
let's not
almost
talk about
double-digit 300s. Yeah.
That score is just insane. And that 50. How was that a miss? I am so confused. How did we see that? No, that wasn't a miss. That was a 200.
Yeah.
No, it was just a 50. No, that's just a classic Miyuchi score. That's my bad. Well, I was like, this is how powerful Miyuchi is as a player. They successfully tanked my curse. Like, how? Because I was talking about them, and they just, instead of a miss, they hit a 50. That's how good he is.
Lion made you think that you cursed them, but it didn't. It didn't break.
Yeah.
They are going for LN2.
Oh, Super
Oh, boy.
Nuka. Let's go to Alens.
I got some math right here. So Indonesia actually have a better score on this, but it's by 236 points.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I mean, we saw a map being decided by a single point this round.
Yeah,
So
I wonder who
cannot get
commentated
closer than
that.
Yeah. It was you and Toph,
man.
wasn't it?
Yeah. It was
That
very
was,
funny because
epic.
it was like 1 in the morning, so I couldn't really scream. I hope we don't get to see it again. I mean, secretly I do, but I also hope I don't. Because my throat needs to be preserved.
I can do the shouting for you, don't worry.
I cannot imagine if this gets settled by less than 236. That would be insane.
I mean, if this gets into a 3-digit difference, that would be insane regardless. Any map that is get decided by 3 digits is insane regardless of the mode, regardless of anything really. And it would be very insane to see that here. Chile's point now, I mean, rather Chile's choice. Super Nuka World, they went from LN to SV and now back to LN. And I think this is a map they have a good enough chance to take this. But it's going to be very, very intense. As you said, the scores are very, very close to each other for what we saw in the previous matches. And this is just the type of map that you either destroy completely or you fail miserably. Like, miss can definitely kill your entire score.
Yeah, because it's basically jump stream. Well, mostly jump stream, but also pretty much stamina. It's 209 BPM. It gets very dense.
Double 200s there by Kokomi. And actually, Miyuchi's score is not so high either. To be fair, neither on the Indonesian side is getting as close as him either. Bad HC and Nisha Labrin both holding similar scores. And honestly, every single player is very, very close. Yeah.
It's like Nisha is the highest with 99.77. There's so many players that are really close to Nisha's accuracy, and Alba will drop a miss. Chile have the lead.
Raise your Chilean flags here because they have the advantage and they're looking very solid. The hit concentration from the row on the bottom is very, very spread. But you can see Albert seems like they're having some polling rate issues. Look at the the hits are very chopped. That could be the reason why his accuracy is a bit too low and those misses are occurring. That's like such a weird hit concentration. And this happens a lot when your keeper is malfunctioning a little bit. And I'm only worried about him, considering that.
We'll have to see if they'll be able to pull through. We're in the second half.
4,500 points of advantage for Chile here. And the accuracy is slightly behind, I think, but just barely. The average accuracy, Nisha and Bad HD are both carrying that up. And Miyuchi is not making that big of an impact this time around, considering we have been used to see him on the 99.9. But if they can hold their combos here with a quarter of the song remaining, Chile just needs to hold a combo. And honestly, they can't really let go their accuracy too much.
They really need to hold on. The map isn't over till it's over. The ending still has a lot of very easy parts to choke on.
Very easy to mind block. This ending is so easy to mind block. Everyone is trying their best here and Chile is holding the lead. But they have to avoid any mistakes. It does look like it is a bit too late, but it's never too late when the difference is this low. And Chile will end up surviving this big 5,600 points of advantage on the Chilean side. The 200 count by Miyuchi. But the worst of the Chileans in terms of 200 count is Miyuchi. That's not something you see often. Very, very nice to see the whole team of Chile performing this well and like having each other's backs instead of relying so intensely on Miyuchi. Very, very nice play here by the South Americans who recover some of that momentum, finally winning outside of the SVs. And now India has to make a pretty difficult choice, I think, because do you go for Rise 7 and risk a lot? Do you go for Sinking of You, which is arguably BOL, but harder? in the speed department, but not on the pattern department. I'm not sure. They're going for Singing of You actually, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is such a tricky pick to make, I think.
This is a gamble. Chile did play this, but Indonesia didn't. Chile have a 2,961,000.
Thinking of Miyuchi,
Thinking of Miyuchi?
pretty
Possibly.
much.
There are very few teams that have actually played this map.
I like how the shift of meta, if you will, like how in the past, in the previous years, jump streams were like the most popular pick for the most part, because most teams could just perform on it, and therefore the weaker teams would try to break points on it or try to take their rise points on it. And this time around, it's like the opposite. Everyone is avoiding the jump streams as much as possible,
Yeah.
because they are just so different. Like they are alt patterning, very, very fast, sometimes even diverse, and that makes players have to think a lot. They can just tunnel vision through the entirety of the jump streams, and I mean that's the main reason why people are trying to avoid it as much as before.
To be fair, jump streams have also gotten extremely difficult. This is 272 BPM and we're in semifinals.
Yeah, I don't want to know how fast they will get for grand finals, really.
Oh boy.
So
It is Indonesia's pick.
Yep.
Yeah. Yuchi still holding the V2SS.
Don't worry, you're not watching autoplay. It's just Miyuchi. 338 notes.
Okay, wait.
with,
Yeah, client.
100%.
That's
We're
not
still
client
seeing
though.
autoplay. That's auto. But it's still auto. He's still in the 100%. I know there's a miss by Bambi, but there's finally breaking the perfect SS. 5,000 points of advantage for Indo now.
Yeah, it is quite a huge drop from Bambi, but you also have to mention Zan. But that's a miss from Nisha.
That's
Zan's
a
accuracy
big
dropping
drop
a
as
bit.
well.
Yeah, Nisha dropped a lot. Bambi, is that gonna be enough though? I don't know. I don't think it will be. Because Banishly Play and Albert are doing really well to keep up accuracies.
Yeah, it's just the accuracy difference, really. As much as Bambi's keeping up with Nisha, the difference between Albert and San is about 0.1%. I mean, Yuchi dropped a lot of accuracy too.
Yeah, that's down to 0.8
And that's-
all of a sudden.
What just happened to him?
Whoa.
Oh, the moment where Chile needed him the most. A bit of a choke in the accuracy department to see if they can keep up with this. I think if Chile can keep this combo for long enough, the difference could start shifting in their favor. And of course, we're not even talking about the miss here from Indo. Still a third of the map remaining. And Sando being the one to
That's
drop.
not a miss from Indo though. Yeah, that is a miss from Chile. And that's gonna extend the lead to Indonesia 5 digits now.
Indo now running away with their money here. On Thinking of You. They just need to hold their combos. The accuracy doesn't really matter anymore for them. And with only the Archer here, which isn't too difficult, Indo should secure this point fairly convincingly after all, with about 13,000 points of advantage. Bambi FNF recovered quite well at the very end, but the miss from San being a bit too much for Chile to keep up with. And I'm very confused. Like, what happened with Miyuchi there? I turned my face around for a second, and then the accuracy goes down by a big chunk. And it was just a rush, yeah, at 100. What is that ratio?
What? I'm sorry, but that is illegal. That is illegal. This is illegal. 16 300s.
I mean, I'm not even talking about the 2B1 double assist there by Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because that's just ridiculous. Like, what just happened? How did Miyuchi drop so much accuracy out of a sudden?
Yeah.
And one portion.
16
What?
300 and then 2 200s and 3 100s. Somewhere in the map. Somehow. But alas, it is an Indonesia point, and it will be back to Chile to pick. There are only 2 rice maps, 3 hybrids, all hybrids to open, and 2 LNs. What can
Wow.
Chile even go for now? I mean, L-Lens surely still has to be the option. They want Super Nuko, but the other two maps are not Super Nuko.
I'm not sure if you want to go for Lemming here. I think you go for Nostalgia or maybe a hybrid.
Yeah.
Let's say the...
Honestly, maybe Hybrid 1 would be good.
Oh, they already picked. We missed it.
Wait, did they pick? Oh, they picked
Yeah.
Hybrid 3. Okay.
Yeah. Livy didn't... yeah, I'm not surprised by this pick, actually. I think this is this the most lane-heavy hybrid, I think. So
It is very difficult to coordinate. There's a lot of flams, but for some reason, I've seen this a few times already, but like people can just act the flams like it's nothing. So it's really all down to the tech side of this map, the long jacks, the coordination of the LNs.
well, now
Well, you'll see.
Chile is struggling, really. That was a pick I could have seen them winning, and they couldn't. And
Yeah.
this is a map that I would see Chile maybe having a chance here against Indonesia. But like you said, the long janks are my main concern. I think it will hurt both teams equally. But Chile has the worse odds, I think. Like I can see Indo comboing through it a little bit more than I see Chile.
Yeah, Chile
But
do
in
have a
normal
4,000
world-
point advantage.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a very choke-heavy map, really. Like, this is a map that you can have an advantage, but then you play it again and your score is so much worse. Or maybe so much better.
Ooh.
But now with a miss from Banish, they play at the intro. I mean, high hopes for Chile.
Yeah, it is very early. Oh,
Nisha
that-
drops.
Nisha-
Mewtwo drops before
Whoa,
Kokami drops.
whoa. Okay, settle down, guys. It's only been like 10 seconds into the map.
Yeah.
You see 4 drops.
What?
Okay, how many?
No, that's
how,
just client,
how
right?
much of that is client? Yeah. Bad
don't
HD
think
one
Kokomi's
was client.
break.
I don't know about Kokomi.
Yeah. Okay, we're stabilizing a little bit. We landed on the Highway 3 map now. Seems like it. And
And
Kokomi's
it's only
accuracy
one
is-
FC per team.
Yeah, Kokomi's accuracy is a bit weak, but so is Bad HD player here. And the lead from Indonesia is fairly solid, mostly because they are one miss up, and now two misses up with Bambi FNF. There's no FCs remaining for Chile, and that was a huge axe drop as well.
Yeah, down to
What I meant.
99.23. It's only Albert on Indonesia's side holding the F.
Oh, there's another miss by Kokomi here, and as you were saying, Alvarez is holding so strong for Indo here. The combo consistent guy who's been carrying Indonesia in so many picks, this matchup specifically. Let's see if they can hold the ground on this last third that is about to come up. And with a miss again from Bambi FNF, there's 34,000 points of difference, and we haven't hit the cap on that particular player, and neither on Kokomi's side. I think this is just a win for Indo at this point. I don't see them losing this lead. This is just too big. 36,000.
Yeah, Chile have to hold on, and as I say, that Kokomi drops again. Indonesia, barring the miss from Nisha, barring the very early miss from Bad HD player, have just been holding on since. Bambi drops again. The lead will just continue to go.
And it's just Arvid really with the FC, the only FC remaining on the lobby. And it seems that they're going to be holding through the rest of the chart with the miss now. A couple of from Bad HD player just being instantly traded by Kokomi. And the difference is just going to still skyrocket on the side of Indonesia, who will be on match point now with about 60,000 points of advantage. They will take Hyper 3, their second break point of this matchup. They have to choose now. They can finish Chile off, as they are used to at this point, it seems, after winning 4 consecutive times against them every single time they faced on the Mania World Cup. And will this be a 5th? It's certainly looking like it.
Yeah, really good accuracy from Mewtwo and Albert. And Nisha. But it is Indonesia's pick now, and they can land the final blow, like you've mentioned.
What will they choose, though? I mean, they could just go for Matt Silver, I think.
Oh my gosh, don't. I was thinking
I
like,
mean,
there's no way, right?
nah,
Okay,
Rise
they are
7,
going
yeah.
for Rise 7.
They don't want to risk the Korchaks against a team that Miyuki is playing on. I can understand. I can respect that. But this
But
map, I
Rise
mean,
4 has been Rise 4 has been so funny.
oh yeah.
We've seen a 64-point difference and we've seen a 1-point difference. So yeah, they're not gonna opt for that. They're going for Rise 7.
What was the other difference? 1 point and what else? You said?
64.
Nice. I mean, come on. What if you win by 0.5 points? Huh? Can we get closer?
Can we get closer than 1?
Yeah.
Other than 0. Okay, for this map, Chile do have a better score by 2,000 points. So it's basically nothing.
Yeah, and this is again kind of a similar structure of a map as Hybrid 3, where you can have a big score, a good score as a team, but then it's so easy to just choke your way out and drop a lot of score. And that's exactly what happened to Hybrid 3 for Chile. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again, especially considering Chile's morale is probably rock bottom at this point, unfortunately, after losing the Hybrid 3 pick, which they really needed to stay afloat. And now they need to win 2 breakpoints in a row. They honestly, I mean, they have to win 4 maps in a row. 2 picked by Indo and 2 picked by Chile. And they have the potential to do it, but it's just that it's going to be very, very difficult. And they need to start with the right foot here. They cannot afford to lose any more maps. And with, I mean, how do you even pronounce the name of this? Rise 7.
MDRQ NX Tagon.
Mederkuntagon, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So this map is very bursty, very jack heavy. As we already see right from the start. And Chile actually have the accuracy advantage because bad HD players' accuracy is dangerously low.
Surprisingly so. They seem to struggle on the very early portions of the map, hitting a couple 200s.
They are slowly recovering. Chile doing very well. The other 2 players of Chile holding 99.7, just Miyuchi being the outlier. But matching Indonesia, but Zan will miss. That's a huge one, 99.1.
I don't know what's going on with the misses, but every time the Chile misses, it's not clean. Like they
It's
just
huge,
miss,
yeah.
and they actually just skyrockets, but on the other way around. And Sam with another miss now, this time being fairly clean, but it's not going to be good for Chile. Regardless, they cannot afford not clean nor dirty misses. They need to hold the ground here, and 20,000 points of advantage. Indonesia still in the lead, and San still drops.
Oh,
with
man.
98.8 accuracy now. I
That
don't
one's huge
see.
as well.
Yeah, I don't see Chile recovering from this, really. There's a third of the map remaining, and Indo's still going with a 3-way FC.
Yeah, Zan has to hold on all the way now. And hope for Indonesia to break as well. It does seem like bad
They seem
HD player has
tilted.
already recovered. Yeah.
Look at how they're hitting the doubles, hitting them as squads. That's certainly a sign of tilt. It's no good. You cannot tilt here. There's only one hope, and the hope is that Indo self-destructs on this very ending of the Jacks. But I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, Indonesia's
Indo would just hold the
consistency
ground.
throughout this entire match has been insane.
There's another miss by San, and now by Nyawa falling again. It's only Miyuka, the last Vicom from Chile. It's not going to be enough. The lead just extends and extends and extends and extends, and it's 68, 70,000 points of advantage. Indo takes the match again, 7-2. And once again, Indo defeats Chile on the Mania World Cup. And for the first time in history, they managed to get the precious top 6 spot.
Yep, for the first time in 4K Mania World Cup history, Indonesia are top 6. And we will say goodbye to Chile, unfortunately, but they have put up an extremely great fight. And we will not forget their tiebreaker match against Vietnam the previous day as well. They have put up a really good show throughout this entire tournament. But that will conclude the semi-finals round.
Yep, that is it for the semi-finals of the Mania 4K World Cup 2023. And Indo, the last member to join the party, we have then Brazil, South Korea, United States, Japan, Indonesia, and I believe it's Thailand, right?
Yeah, the only non-top seed Thailand will be facing Japan on one end, and on the other end, it will be Indonesia against Brazil.
Oh man, that has to be another Mania World Cup Classic. Brazil Indo, I feel we have seen that match a lot as
We
well.
have seen, I think so, but it has always been like Brazil dominating over the last couple of years,
Yeah.
because Indonesia has never always been at that top tier, but Brazil always has. And now to see them like Brazil seed 5, Indonesia seed 6. Like that
Oh
will
my
be a close one.
goodness. That would be such a match, really. I mean, of course, we have the winners bracket final between the United States and South Korea, seed number 1 against seed number 2, which
Yes.
always promised to be a great matchup. Another Mania World Cup Classic. I think every single edition we have seen United States versus South Korea, it feels like it. And I mean, I don't know. I honestly do not know what the top 3 is going to look like. Of course, you have US and Korea, but I don't know who's going to be the third team to join the party, really. The 4 teams on the losers bracket are looking stacked.
Very, very stacked, and really any of the 4 teams have a good shot at making that final podium spot. But with that being said, we should round off the match part of the stream. We do have a map pool showcase very soon.
Oh, yeah. Do you know that thing that comes right after the semifinals, but right before the grand finals? How's it called?
I think it's called finals?
La Finale?
Finals?
Fine?
I'm not too sure.
The finest.
The
Yes.
finals? Yeah.
Something
I
like
think
that.
so.
And I believe we
something
will
along
be
those
seeing,
lines.
I think that the maps are happening, like, or something like that. I mean, yeah.
New
you don't want to miss it.
maps? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Absolutely. But hey, if you have to make some time until that point, there's still 10 minutes, I believe, until we get into the map pool showcase of that round that we cannot pronounce, the finale, or pre-finale, if you will, because you still have the grand finals. You can get yourself a banner. I believe they're still up, and they will be up for this whole week. And right before the grand finals, I believe the banners are going to be closed, maybe even the week before it. So this is the time to get your banners to support the team you like the most. It can be any team. It doesn't have to be any of the 6 teams remaining, but keep in mind that if you get one of the 16 remaining and one of them happens to be the winner, and the winner, well, one of is going to be the winner, but what I mean is that the one you picked for the banner happens to be the winner, your banner will stay for a little bit longer. You have this champion little thing banner to show that you supported the team that won the World Cup. So you can do that, or you can always just support whatever country you decide that qualified into the top 32. And everything you get from that shop, like the banners, will go straight into the prize pool. So yeah, if you don't, you can also just chill and listen to Davin or Dobin from Camellia until the maps showcase starts. That will be fun too.
Yeah, we will be back in 7 minutes for the map pool showcase. So until then, we can sit back and relax,